What's going on, everybody? Doc, Average Gamer Guys, back yet again into another season of The Escape. We're jumping in, super excited. I finally feel well enough to get this recording done, and I'm very excited to get this season up and running. So we're gonna jump straight in here. If you're not familiar, if you're just tuning in for the first time, or you're just checking this season out and this series out on the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff for the YouTube algorithm. Really does help us out. This is a solo standard account playthrough on Escape from Tarkov. The goal, we have a few different goals actually this time around. We're going to look to do two things. Up front here for the first handful of episodes, we are going to be pushing to open up Flea Market access. Flea Market has historically, at least the previous wipe, been locked behind level 20. It is currently behind level 15 for the 1230 wipe. So the first handful of episodes, we are going to push forward, try to get to level 15 as quick as we can. Certainly along the way, we're going to try to get some task progress. We're going to try to get some hideout progress. We're going to try to obviously pick up some things that we need for future tasks. After we reach that point, what I then want to do is focus on the Punisher quest line. This is huge for anybody that is playing on a standard account, to be able to get that Epsilon container and get that thing opened up. I want to try my best to represent a really good run. I think in all reality, we ran the season last time. The Epsilon container ended up being really big for us as we progressed through and as we got to the later portions of the season. So I'm really excited to be able to do that. In addition, from that point, my other goal for this season was going to be max traders. I want this to be a really good representation of how I would go about playing the game. In addition to, if you only play for a few hours a week, these episodes are typically about an hour, probably put about an hour and a half-ish or so into the recording. If you only play an hour and a half, maybe 3 hours, upwards of 3 hours a week, that you can still progress really well in this game. Are you going to make it to Kappa by the end of the wipe? Are you going to be able to do some of those things? I think there is certainly a chance, especially if you can put a few more hours in a week. But I want this series really to represent what it can be for somebody that plays, again, on a solo standard account and is just trying to make their way through the progression of the game and get to some of those key milestones, some of the big hideout upgrades. Again, max traders is usually a really good kind of key marker. And again, we're going to push for Flea Market and the Epsilon container as well. So hopefully you enjoy that. I think I probably have an intro, so why don't we go ahead and roll that right now. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that. I got a comment from the last series, and I just want to dive in and chat a little bit about what do I do up front. So first things first, you can see we've moved a few things around, but I haven't really sold anything because I want to spend a little bit of time talking about how I prep up, especially if this is your first wipe or you're just jumping in or maybe coming back. What do I keep? What do I sell? How do I kind of manage the stash at least early? So we're going to chat about that. One important thing you're going to notice already, I haven't run a single raid. I haven't done anything. We've just basically booted up the account and done a few things, but I am already level 2. That's big. Here's how we got there. We go into the traders, and essentially at first you're going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to inspect everything. It can get a little tedious, not going to lie. I really wish we had an inspect all button on the traders, or that we just knew what all this stuff was as soon as it opened up, but I digress. One important thing to note, because a lot of people probably tell you to do that, is that you can actually go in any weapon that Fence or any of the other traders has, unlike the flea market. You can actually come in and you can search every single one of these items. It's a little bit lesser known, but this will completely guarantee without a shadow of a doubt that if you come in here and do this for every weapon, take a look at every stock, every magazine, every barrel, every attachment essentially that you can in here, you will for sure, 100% guaranteed, be able to hit level 2. Now, in addition to that, what I like to do is I spend a little bit of time basically just refreshing Fence. You're going to see here, because people sell a wide variety of items that you're going to be able to come in, and it's not a ton of experience, but you're going to be able to pick this stuff up. In addition, I strongly recommend doing this because this is going to make your looting and what you're able to find inside of raid, what you can pick up, what you can reload, it's going to allow you to do a lot of those things a lot faster in raid, and that can be the difference when you're trying to get that quick loot in from surviving to ended up dying. So as you can see here, we're just jumping in, we're taking a look at everything, and I just want to show you again, with these weapons, this is a perfect highlight. You can come in and you can search every single attachment on this gun, even though you don't own it. And that's a little interesting, it's a little bit different, but it helps you to identify those magazines and see a few additional things that you might not normally. And again, the nice part is we can just back out, we can jump back in, Fence will actually refresh, and then we can take a look to see if there's anything new, which we have one here. Anytime we see a new gun, I always double click just to make sure we've seen everything. And this is a great way to gain some early experience. And again, like I said, set yourself up for when you go to jump in those first handful of raids. And I recognize that I hadn't searched that pistol, so again, we're getting a little bit of additional experience here. So the key to getting to level 2 and why you want to get to level 2, once you hit that point, I recommend either resetting your game, jump into an offline match, jump out, whatever you want to do, is because you can come in here and at level 2 you're going to get gunsmith, but more importantly you're going to get introduction. We want to make sure we grab introduction because this is going to be our ability to open up Jaeger, and Jaeger is going to be really key. We can buy our 2 133 shotguns for debut here to then be able to turn those in. So as of my first raid, I will be jumping into woods. I want to focus on trying to get these scavs killed, get these shotguns done, grab Jaeger's letter, and we can knock out some really early, might not seem like a lot of experience at this point, but get some really early easy experience, get some task progression, and that is going to help accelerate us as we go and try to drive towards getting to level 15. In addition, we'll look for a few things. I have a pretty good sense for what I need to pick up early, both from a hideout progression standpoint in addition to additional quests. So things like Iskras, water bottles, Amelia croutons, and a handful of others are going to be really helpful. So if we can find some of that stuff in raid, especially in woods, we're going to look to do that so that we can get this turned in. In addition, we've collected all the rest of our tasks, so we're going to be looking for Solewas on the same token. And again, you can make some nice early game progress by just knocking out a few of the early quests. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about what would I do here with this stash, and what am I going to end up selling, and where am I going to spend my money. A few important things is, who should you focus on? I like to spend a little bit of time trying to focus on and spreading out where I sell a few of these different things. I'm going to sell some early PS ammo and a couple of flash grenades. Don't plan on using those particularly a lot. As we look at everything else here, most of the other stuff is pretty valuable. The knife I don't usually hang on to. I'm going to sell this, but I'm going to wait until Jaeger opens up. I don't want to sell this to Fence because Fence really doesn't need anything to be sold to him. In addition to that, we'll probably use most of these guns for a good portion of it. We'll use the rigs and we'll use the armor. So we'll make use of a lot of this. We did go bear this time around. I think we did that in the last season as well, and that ends up being helpful. Iskras. These Iskras and these water bottles are actually really key because one of the first early game quests that we're going to be able to open up is going to be having to place these on woods. And that's a Jaeger task, so we're going to want to make sure that we hang on to those. We got some AKs, we'll probably be putting those to good use, and then we've got a handful of decent meds, all of the things that we're going to want to hang on to. What am I going to run first here, though? First and foremost, I actually want to go in, and we are going to be running a Mosin. I talked about this in a separate video that talked about early game weapons and what do I recommend. A early game Mosin is absolutely devastating, and while we're not particularly at the very freshest portion of the wipe, there's still a lot of really new players, and this is going to be a really good opportunity. We're going to do a few things here. We're going to continue and start leveling up our sniper skill. Tarkov Shooter, which is a Jaeger quest line, opens up a lot earlier than it has in the past, which is really, really nice. We want to make sure that we're focused on trying to get our sniper skill up, spending some time to be able to do that. And so starting a few of these early raids with this Mosin is going to be a great way to be able to do that. Once we get Stirrup opened up, which is a skier questline, which we'll get relatively early as well, we'll probably start pairing this up with a pistol. You'd be really surprised how effective just a thorax shot with the Mosin into a pistol transition on a player can really, really be. So that's a strong recommendation, and I found a lot of success with that in the past, and especially this wipe. You catch quite a few people off guard when you hit them with that first Mosin shot. They probably kind of rethink their cover and what they're going to do, and then it allows you to get kind of that early push, and it has been, like I said, extremely successful. Other than that, we'll make sure that we hang on to a little bit of money, but you can do some early hideout upgrades without essentially needing any items. So we're going to look to do a few of those things as well and get some of that stuff up, because I want to be able to invest that money early. And I think hideout progression, especially being able to get a early start, the benefits of the hideout are extremely important in my opinion. And you want to start working towards the progress for a lot of these things. So I know most of the things that we need here, we'll be looking for a handful of different items. There's no particular order that I want to do these in. If I can find a few of these med items, med station getting opened up is a really good one. Lavatory is another that I want to try to focus on, so we'll make sure we look to grab these items, and these will be the things that we throw into our container early. Again, I have a video up probably as of the recording of this. It should be live, where I talk about what's important for you to grab and what can you hang on to, as well as you look at getting into flea market access. It should be pretty good. So without further ado, long intro, so do apologize for that, but we're going to jump into woods with our Mosin, and we're going to see how this thing goes. We'll see you in this first raid. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Raid number 1. Into the woods we go. And this is actually a pretty decent spawn for us. We're going to be able to get over and get Jaeger's Atleta. Then we can look to push Medfob here a little bit. We can see if we can get any player interaction. So again, like I said, first goal here, level 15. That's what we're going to be pushing for. That's what we're going to be trying to do. And get as much progression as we can throughout the course of this push for level 15. Now, what's important here? If I had to rank, the best things that are going to help to level me up quickly are actually going to be survives. Even if it's a relatively quiet raid, even if we don't get a whole ton of crazy PvP or even scav killing action, what we're going to come to find is that the bonus, if that's Sturman, that would be nuts. The bonus from the survive is going to be really, really critical. And so we want to focus on that. We want to make surviving kind of the key. And everything else that we do amongst that is just extra icing on the cake. Obviously, we want to be able to gain some experience while we do that, so we do want to try to get some scav kills at least. Got our letter here. We want to search anything that we can, but obviously put yourself in a good position when you do that. Let's see what we can get into here. That's a player right there. That was definitely a player on the backside. Kind of a late rotation in. So, if you're not familiar with the series, what's going to happen is I'm going to give you... I'm going to give you most of the raid, but I will cut out any kind of just low... interactions. Any kind of downtime, anytime we're just kind of moving to get from point A to point B without a lot of stuff going on. Long extended extracts, because we get pretty heavy in this series. Those will probably make a cutout. Now, we did get one scav there. Fortunately, I couldn't get a clean headshot, because swapping into this level 4 armor would have been really good. It felt like somebody was shooting at me. I wonder if this was just a pistoling in here and he died. That's definitely Sturman. Grizzly's really nice early here. I'm gonna try to keep our ears out. Somebody was in here. Vitamins we need. So we're gonna do this. That's a good pickup early. I see somebody searched this already. Why was that scav right there? Large cans of beef stew is going to be really good. Never even heard the guy. Dang. GG's. So again, we get here's where focusing on survive. We get 2 eliminations, we get a nice little headshot bonus. Again, we get a little streak for getting some kills. We get some loot experience, which was pretty good because we found quite a few things. If we would have been able to even just survive after looting a little bit more, this is easily a couple thousand experience, which would have been a nice propel to, forward. It kind of sucks that I don't hear that guy. I'm not really sure where he was. He must have kind of creeped around, but it's interesting that that scav was standing there and we were able to get the headshot on the scav without a whole lot going on. I should have did a better job of clearing that. Nice part here is we'll use therapist to help us, and we'll get some early easy heals. Okay, so we're basically going in. We're gonna keep using a little bit of the gear we have. We're gonna go Mosin again. The nice part is we did grab these vitamins, which is good. So we got one of our hideout progression items in the bag, if you will. And other than that, we'll jump back in. Let's get to another raid. All right. see if this one can go better. See if we can get out at least with the letter. This is an interesting spawn. This is a good spawn for actually making some money. Gotta keep adjusting the volume here as we swap to different headsets. Oh, I know there's a guy over at the USEC camp. Confirmed. Now again, we can get into some PvP here. Let's just take a look and see what the stash has for us. Base control relay. First horsey statue. Wooden clock, that's interesting. Ah, yes. Definitely take this, and take that too. Horses, again, have been relatively rare. Not rare. Expensive. This wipe. I'm gonna push over to this village over here. I think that was 2 players. Oh, I only got 1 hit, man. That's rough. Maybe it was only the 1. It looked like 2. That second guy looked like, that last guy that we took a peek at looked like he was outfitted differently. I don't know why. Maybe it was only the 1. The nice part about this strategy, and this is not a good warm-up to get to level 15, but the nice part about this strategy is there's a good chance that we get most of that stuff back. You know, they're probably not, we didn't insure the armor because honestly, pack of armor really is not worth it at this point. We probably, maybe we'll get the headset back. We're not insuring the bag either, but there's a pretty solid chance that we end up getting these Mosins back. So early on, you're not spending a ton of money. We can pick these up pretty easily, and it's not too expensive to get kitted out here. We'll spend a little bit of money grabbing a few meds here, and we will jump back in. See ya in the next one. So not a ton of luck here. Very contrary to our start in hardcore. That is okay. Alright, another decent spawn. I have not been getting the good med camp spawns, which really early on I think is one that I would hope for. The reason for it is you can get in there pretty quick and get an opportunity to search a lot of that, which gives you an opportunity to pick up quite a few of the barter items that you would need. Now, this ends up being a pretty decent spawn if I'm trying to get the last of my scav kills. So hopefully we can get somewhat left alone here. We should have an opportunity to take a look at some barter items. And hopefully we can get a few scavs along the way. Always come search over here. There can be random barter items. There's a xenomorph.
Да вон он! Вон он!
There's debut done. There's a player in one of these houses. Probably a pistoling. By the sounds of it. Tool set is pretty big early. Now, that guy definitely knows we're here. Does he know? I think we got him.
Вон он, сука!
God dang it.
Давай! Сдохни, тварь! Пиздец, мраки ебаные! Пиздюк! Вон он, блядь! Ебать!
So the other thing that we're trying to do here early, in addition to leveling up our sniper skill, is if we can, with the kills that we get, we're really trying to go for headshots. Headshot multiplier bonus is going to be really nice for us. So we want to look to see, although a lot of times it's not worth it if it's going to get you killed, but if you can go for it and you can get it, it can be pretty beneficial. There was something else here. Ah, there's the slickers. Slickers in the old bowl. So we have the money, actually. Oh my god, and there's a lion here. We have the money. This is Eagle Nick. Whew. That's the ammo. It's just too good. What I think I'm going to do here, let's rotate these out. We'll hang on to that. Get rid of this. You do want to try to work your metabolism skill early if you can. Can I not pick this up? I wonder if these guys are trying to... They are taking bridge. Oh. The hell? What the hell did I just walk into here?
Вон он, блядь, вон он, ебать! Вон он!
Jesus.
Вон он, Саш!
What is this raid right now? My gosh. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We're getting rid of this. We can hang on to our LPS ammo. You know me, you know I like to take dog tags. Found and raid Iskra is going to be great. We don't need the Xeno yet. Take the meds. We don't need the Kroots. We'll take this. We'll take this guy's gun. We got more bodies to still search over here. Okay, this is the kind of raid where we want to get out of here. 133 shotgun. We're actually gonna go ahead and take this. This guy's a level 24. Wow. Again, doing the same thing. Smart man. Okay, sewing kit's pretty good. We'll take that over that. Packs of screws. We really don't need the grenade. And we'll take that. We can use this. We can use the juice. As much as I like this guy's sniper rifle, I'm actually just going to take this guy's Mosin. And don't really need piles of meds at this point. So, what I'm trying to do is factor in decisions and just trying to take the most beneficial items we can. Obviously, sugar and condensed milk will sell really well. I'm not too concerned at this point about money, particularly. More so, it's better to get some usable items. We'll need the half masks at some point. These knives are better. There's probably PS ammo in this. VPO. Not gonna be too concerned about it. Scav vest. Here's another 133 shotgun. We could get them both in one raid. Just pretty nuts. This will sell better. Top these up on ammo. Man, that's big actually. So I have a feeling that this was basically completely looted by this first guy. So it looks like he missed quite a few things. This is definitely a raid we want to survive. Again, the bonus to XP is going to be really, really good. There's a Tashanka there too. Chargeable battery. Man, a lot of these things are good. I don't need this. Let's take these. Rat Cola sells really well. I probably don't need the Helix. Actually don't really need the Tashanka at this point. Let's go ahead and eat this. I'm gonna drop this. Dome this one guy. And you can see how pretty quickly with a successful little run here, you know, we snowballed really nicely. Oh man. That, honestly, red screwdrivers feel like have been really hard to come by. It probably would not be a normal take for me. in this situation. There's a corrugated hose there too. Jeez. EP ammo. Not good. There's a hand drill we need, but we'll be able to find those. Lion's obviously way more important. Oh. The decisions. Since I'm not taking vehicle extract, the duct tape was just too important. That on 7. The question really is, what does 10K represent that's better than anything I'm hanging on to? I think all of this stuff is either more usable or more expensive. The only thing I could do is this. Obviously, we'll have to hope that we don't get into any major fights where I need that. But again, I'm back in the dilemma phase here because I want to pick up. What, as good as the diary is, this is way better early. So that makes sense to pick that up. Blue tape is good. There's another one. Need so many corrugated hose. This isn't my kill. I feel like I'll find more morphine. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 4 or 5 players accounted for. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, but relatively we should be in good shape. And there's another red screwdriver. Jeez. Okay, so it looks like he actually came in here and hit this one instead, which is on the smarter side. This one is definitely better. Or is the loots? See if he did a good job of checking underneath here. I don't see any perception dots. You want to check under here just like we found that lion. Really good gold spawns. There's also can be some decent ammo that spawns right over there. And this has been a absolute amazing spot for 3M armors as well. So, the only thing, I'm happy that we ended up finding both these shotguns. Pretty lucky when it comes to that. The only thing I'm a little worried about at this point is if we get into any longer range engagement, we'll have to either run away or close the distance. The nice part about having the Mosin ends up being we can, we could bring that fight in on our territory. Goodness gracious. Okay, we're taking that over the rechargeable battery. Again, hideout upgrade. I don't know how much time I want to keep spending. We really don't have any additional space. Don't know how much more time we want to spend in this raid. We'll go ahead, top up. I think we look at just maybe looting this. Thinking about getting out of here. Oh my god, this is insane. Okay, well. Even more important than that is this. I'm just gonna drink this. I'm telling you, woods is the place. If you're ever not sure where to run some raids, you need hideout upgrade items. You certainly saw that we got into plenty of PvP. Woods is the map. You're making a lot of money too. I'm taking this. Screw the ammo. Don't get me wrong, the ammo is fantastic. It just at this point does not make a whole ton of sense for us. 740 is amazing. I don't, it's not that I don't have a need for it. It just doesn't make sense to take at this point. The things that we have this early are too good for early progression. Now, the other train of thought, if you are going to do something similar to this, would be take everything that is of a high dollar value. Now, why would I say that? What's interesting is, like this ergo grip sells really well. You could push towards the flea market, and in doing so, try to accumulate as much possible money as you can. What that would then allow you to do is when you do get to the flea market, I don't think I need weapon parts. I'm going to take these. Those are both quest items. I don't need weapon parts as early as I'll need those. What that would then allow you to do is when you do get to the flea market, you'll essentially just be able to buy all the things that we're hanging on to and selling off other things. So, like, I could have gone a different route, taken, like, the sugar, for instance, and a couple of the other items, and put myself in a position that when the flea market opens up, we sell a whole bunch of that stuff off, and we make a boatload of money, and then we buy all the things that we're hanging on to. Now, granted, it's going to still take us a handful of raids, quite a while. Not a while to get there, but a little bit to get to level 15. So for me, I think it makes the most sense to just focus on grabbing, essentially kind of trying to do both. Make some money, but also grab some things that we're going to need or get some hideout progression. We're also trying to really work our search skill here. Never know what you'll find inside of these. Big stick. That's a good stock. PS ammo. This little mount. Okay, we're gonna try to get over to the letter. Pick that up and make our way out of here. So, really quickly just checking here. There can be some meds. There's also a couple of, I believe, gold item spawns scattered throughout debris of the plane. Plane is a perfect indicator if you're coming from that side of the map to cue you in here on where to find the camp and subsequently the letter. Let's try to do this really quick. Okay, now that we've picked that up, we should have outskirts as our extract. Unfortunately, car was taken. We will move to getting out of here. And hopefully do that successfully. What we're going to do is we're going to take the path. We're basically going to go along the beach. We'll skirt by, but basically skirt around the sawmill. Essentially, at this point, we're just trying to do avoidance. Because again, we really don't have the range to get into a long-range fight. And we got a lot of good stuff on us that hope to safely and successfully extract with. Let's try to avoid any fights. Roll out. All right. Looks like we successfully made our trip to the extract. We get our first survive of the escape series. So right here, this is what I'm talking about. Big XP from obviously all of the kills that we got. We're gonna show you probably a pretty decent headshot multiplier. Obviously, we were able to search a bunch of things. We got a lot of pretty solid loot, and that in combination with the survival bonus makes for a really nice first survive here. So we're headshots across the board. That's really big. That was really nice. That was some good work with the Mosin, some really good work with the VPO to take down these two players. So very, very happy with that. We get 8 kills. We obviously get the 5 scavs that we need. We pick up 2 pretty decently leveled up players here for this portion of the wipe. And dealing out a pretty good bit of damage there. VPO coming in big. That was smart. So boom, we hit through 6. We go all the way through, we get 6,900 experience, and we push all the way up almost to about 4.5 with that one raid. Again, big thing here. Eliminations, 950. Because we got the headshot bonus here, we're actually getting more experience from the headshots themselves than the actual kills, which is crazy. We obviously get a nice little streak for having 8 kills, so that's really good. We get the escape bonus here, and then we get this multiplier for the survive, which is really, really nice. We get a big chunk of experience from looting, and then just a handful from eating and drinking and healing. This will add up over time, so that's not too bad to make sure that you try to do at least these 2 things. If you have to heal, probably you got shot, so make sure you do that in raid. But that's really, really good. So very happy with that. We'll get the free heal from Therapist here. Okay, so peeping the loot haul, I am like honestly pretty dang ecstatic as far as what we were able to pick up. There's a few things we'll sell. We definitely turned our P.A.K.A. into a better armor here by being able to get that head tap on that player. We're going to repair this helmet, probably just sell this. We obviously just pick up a straight 10K in cash, which is good. We get both the shotguns. The beautiful part about this is I'm going to pull this off because we'll be able to sell that. And we could actually even unload the ammo if we want to min-max this thing. Could unload the ammo. So we're going to sell this. We're going to sell this. We're going to sell this. We'll look to sell the helmet once we repair it. We'll go with mechanic. Should get more than that from it. The other nice part ends up being is we get quite a few barter items that are going to be really big. So the reason the lion's really big, one, this sells really, really well. In addition to that, what we want to do is we want to be able to grab a lion, a cat statue, and 4 horses so that we are ready and able to do the barter for a docs case from Therapist as soon as that barter opens up for us, which I believe is sitting at level 2 with her, which is not too hard of a thing to get. If you're not familiar, a docs case allows you to put documents, but more importantly, a bunch of keys. That's going to be really, really important to try to maximize our pouch space here. And having that is going to be really, really good. So we grab an awl, we grab our screwdriver here. Tool set is expensive. We get the 2 corrugated hose, which is really nice. All of this stuff we should be able to get. I was going to say rest space becomes available since we have those. We're going to need to turn this Iskra in. All of these things are just really, really solid. Handful of quest items here as well, with the Tashankas, the Iskra, and the Melias. Really, really solid. And then we'll hang on to the knife for the time being. I don't know if we're gonna need to repair these. I don't know if they're in. I'm hoping they're in good enough shape to turn in. We will certainly find out here in just a second. And then again, I am a dog tag collector, so that's just a personal preference thing for me. Feel free to sell those if you want. You will need to turn some in, so I like to keep a handful of them, or I recommend keeping a good stockpile of USEC and bear, because you're gonna need to turn them in for a few quests. But let's go ahead and let's get a few of these things knocked out. Oh, beautiful. We can turn both shotguns in. That cleans up debut for us. One really nice. Obviously, we're going to have to get checking. I'm hoping that we'll be able to hit level 5, because this search mission brings us back to woods, and that's where I'm going to want to spend a little bit of time, because we're going to be able to get some early progress here. Introduction. We might actually be able to complete. We do hit level 5 because of that, which is fantastic. So we get that done. This opens up Mr. Jaeger. We're going to be able to search all this, so we'll do that. And then bam, we are already a good chunk, almost halfway with what we picked up in that raid alone for getting this complete. Nice part is you want to move past acquaintance so that you can open up a couple of more woods quests. Some easy stuff to be able to get done with items we have in our inventory. Beautiful part here, search mission, we get to go back. We get just take a look at the convoy and the USEC camp. We jump into both of those. Pretty easy task to get completed. And that's a nice little chunk of experience too. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I don't know. Since we hit level 5, we may have to reset. Shouldn't be anything else. One thing to consider is working towards getting the money spent for Peacekeeper here. We're going to do that pretty early, actually. I'm actually going to sell all of this stuff off to him. We want to start making our way towards this 11k. Getting him up to level 2 is going to open up a lot of good opportunities for us. There's a lot of things, especially the ability to buy like the ump with the match FMJ. You can buy the mags already. Very good early game weapon, and that should be one of the focuses, I think, as we look to kind of progress this series. I'm going to wrap this one up, but let's go ahead and take a look. And let's grab our rewards. We can see, I want to show you what I'm going to do with a lot of this stuff. So most of it's just money, which is good. So we got that. We didn't find any Salewas, was about the only thing. I'm just going to go back in and actually sell this stuff. Don't plan to use that gun, so we can sell all that to him. And we're in good shape here. I also want to take a quick look. We can just sell these shotgun shells. Do that to Prepare. Spread some of that money out a bit. Probably makes sense to do something like that. And also, we can go ahead and get rid. I'm actually just going to sell both of these. We can get rid of those to him. Get a little bit of money spent moving towards Mr. Jaeger. Now, there's not a ton from Jaeger. I would suggest buying early. You do get some options for some shotgun shells, which isn't bad. Nothing too crazy, at least at first from him. Weapons-wise, you know, I am a fan of the 153 shotgun here. This is not a good barter, though, in my opinion. 133 certainly does hold its own. The nice part ends up being is you can get this target ring, which should fit on that, which has historically been a little bit of a trouble, I think, for some folks. They have a hard time using just the B dot on the shotguns effectively. So if you do, this is a good sight, relatively cheap. At level 2, he gets this available, which is a mount, which is a Picatinny rail mount for the top of your shotguns, which also makes those a lot more viable. Other than that, there's not a ton, although the OP SKS, I talked about this in my weapons video. This is a fantastic early game gun, especially here with this dovetail OP SKS dovetail mount. You can throw a really nice sight on that. I don't know if he sells any. I think this one, PKAA, and I think Skier. I actually don't think Skier does. Does anybody sell a good optic for this? Because the SKS would be another thing to jump into. It doesn't look like it up front. Here. This would probably be the one I would recommend. This is the Axion Cobra on the mount. which is a really, really nice optic. So that is definitely the one I would personally prefer and recommend if you're looking for a good early game gun. So I'm going to continue to search the rest of this. Pretty solid start, I would say. Let's go ahead and take a look. Can get a little bit of hideout progress, so I want to do that. Little rough those first two raids for this first episode, but other than that, pretty happy overall. We'll be able to get rest space up. We only need a handful of things. We need a lot of other upgrades. And we're sitting okay. We still need some matches, so we'll be on the lookout for those. We need men's in a syringe, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Security is going to be the big one. We're going to want to try to find this construction tape if we can. Same thing, illumination. We'll try to get our cricket here. And then lavatory will be the last one. We have probably the hardest of the items to find. So we'll be spending a little bit more time in woods. We should be able to stumble across these three things pretty quickly. And we'll move forward from there. And then we'll look to grab nuts and bolts if we can find them as well. And we'll get workstation upgraded so that we can start modding some weapons. But fantastic final raid. Thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Again, the push towards level 15 and the flea market. Not the most great overall stats, but we did hit level 5 after just one play session in a combination of essentially raids as well as getting lucky and being able to get some of our tasks complete. So really, really happy with that. Nice little KD here. We're certainly getting our kills in, and obviously that was all from pretty much that last raid, but that's pretty good. So really quick, like, comment, subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. Again, if you're new, hopefully you enjoy this series. Hopefully you learn something. If you have questions, please, down below in the comments, let us know anything that we can help with. I'm going to throw some socials at you. Twitter, Twitch, Discord, TikTok. All links in the description. We do stream Fridays, Saturdays, usually Sundays, starting around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time in the evenings. So if you want to join us, we'd love to have you over on Twitch. In addition, we'll try, and we've been trying to stream a little bit more during the week as well, usually in the evenings, probably a little bit later start. Those won't go as long on the weekends. We really try to put in some good sessions. So be sure to join us. Come check us out, especially if you have any questions. Extremely new player friendly, and that is what this series is about, is hopefully helping you to show you how we can progress with a little bit of time, a little bit of knowledge, to be able to have some success in Tarkov and enjoy this game as well. So yeah, pretty good start. Pretty happy, and we'll be picking this up. We'll probably be doing same cadence as we had been, probably 2 episodes of this a week. We have a hardcore series as well, so check that out. Probably be doing about 2 episodes of that, and then we'll intermix additional content throughout the week. A lot of Escape from Tarkov here on the YouTube. So again, thanks for checking us out. I've been Doc, Average Gamer Guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next Escape episode. Peace.